Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. This is the TAFA and chart analysis for Bitcoin for December 28th, 2021, getting very, very close to New Year. Like I said, I don't expect any huge movements before New Year. Everything is just trading within range for today. Yeah, we did go down a couple $1,000s, but we've been around the 45 to 50 to 52,000 area forever. Don't expect that to break. I think the lowest we can go is probably 45, if not 43. But there's actually a pretty important point in there, in my opinion. You see this chart right here, like the previous bottom, which was only on the 17th, was around 45,900 or so. So right now we're at like 47,600. So basically we're 1,700 above that point. Now I think like if we dip below 45, I think there's a good argument to be made that we're still kind of like sort of on the downtrend if we dip below 45. Because if you see here, a couple of months ago, each bottom was actually lower than the last bottom until we got to around 2,900 here. Pretty much it was pretty consistent. Each bottom's lower than the last one. Right now, this bottom is actually still significantly higher than the 45,900 that we dipped to. So if we bounce back from here and go up, above 51, 52,000, then I think the downtrend is actually over and we can actually start an uptrend right after the new year. So I think that's where the important point actually is. Will we hold above 45,900? If we dip to 42, if we dip to 45 or even 43, the downtrend may not be completely over. It really won't go down all that much more, but then it really won't be over. But if we bounce back above this 51,000 mark, before we go below 45,900, 45,700 or something, then I think the downtrend is over and we're going to be continuing on this uptrend. If you look at our lowest point right here in July, 29,800, if you actually look at the lows, we are having higher lows. And if we're looking at the highs, we're still having higher highs, but we haven't really hit the high of the next cycle yet. But this is the low of this cycle, and it's still significantly higher than 40,000, which we actually dipped to back at the end of September. So overall trend is going up, higher lows, yet we have yet to see the high. We'll have to see that. But I think eventually, I think this cycle essentially started in July and has not ended yet. We're going to have to see a lower high for this to really end. So that's kind of like what I see right now for this cycle since July. The critical number, will we dip below 45,900? And once we bounce, will we actually get above 51,000 or so? So that's the real question right now. On the technical analysis, obviously everything moved to sell again from buy yesterday. The daily technicals aren't very consistent. Like any kind of big move will actually influence the daily a couple thousand points, because we're hovering pretty close to the EMA and the SMAs for a lot of these points. A couple thousand points will swing it one way or the other. Right now, it's a very strong sell. Everything's a sell, including the 200 EMA and the 200 SMA, because we dumped about 2,000 points. So right now you're seeing a strong sell. I wouldn't say it's a strong sell until I wouldn't say it's really a sell until we hit maybe below 46 or maybe like above 40, below 45.5. If you really look at what we have right now, the awesome oscillator actually changed from positive to negative though. So that could be a signal that we're actually on a downtrend. The average directional index is not very strong though. The commodity channel index is neutral. Everything else is neutral. And so I think the oscillators are pretty much completely neutral right now. However, the moving averages on the daily all scream sell, but the moving averages on the daily, those indicators change every day. Because because the price has been so jumpy, sometimes we go up a couple hundred points, sometimes we go down a couple hundred points. On the 10, 20, and 30, they can change every other day. They were all pretty much positive yesterday. They're all negative today. But we have fallen under the 200 EMA, which is kind of concerning, but not really, because we've fallen below it and then gone above it multiple times. And we've actually closed a candle above it just recently, probably 2 days ago. We're probably going to close the candle below it, but I really don't think that matters. I don't think it's as strong of a selling market as this would actually indicate on the EMAs, because if we go back and bounce back around 50,000 tomorrow, these will all change to positive again. So wouldn't really take too much of the moving averages on the daily to heart. On the weekly, still in the sell mode, because we've dumped a couple thousand points. we're below the EMAs and the SMAs for everything up down to the 50. And then everything from the 50 is still a buy. Right now, I would say just like hold neutral until the end of the year. I think it's going to be like in that range before the end of the new year. I think the lowest you can probably dip to is about 43. If you want to try to catch that, go ahead and sell. But I just wouldn't really bother with it because I don't know if you can really time the bottom. And this could actually be the local bottom as well. So very, very hard to actually tell. If we actually bounce back, we could bounce above 50,000 again tomorrow. So I really wouldn't, I would just hold. I wouldn't buy anymore. I wouldn't sell anymore and just see what actually happens. The oscillators are all neutral. The average directional index is weaker than ever, so there's basically no trend. And there's no real signal to me, at least, to buy or to sell. But obviously the EMAs for the 10, 20, 30 weeks are all on sell. But once again, they were on buy yesterday. Well, yeah, they were still, the EMAs were on buy yesterday. So because yesterday we were much, much higher, tomorrow they could be buy again. So it's very, very hard. We've been swinging in between like 4 or 5% for quite a while. So I would say it's not really something that you should worry about too much, especially on the long term. Long term wise, on the monthly, obviously we're still on buy. Yes, we're above the 10-month SMA, below the 10-month SMA, but we're above the 10-month EMA. So realistically, like, if you just take a look at it, the oscillators are all neutral. We're just having some volatility around New Year. Obviously, after today, we're basically hovering more around sell than buy for the immediate future. But there's been so many momentum shifts in the last few days that this just isn't a very certain thing. The average directional index is basically like really, really low right now, basically indicating that for the short term, there is no trend or direction. It can switch at almost any time. So obviously very, very long-term wise, it's still a buy, but short-term wise, it's very hard to tell. If you want to day trade, fine, I wouldn't. I think the best strategy right now is just to DCA and hold, especially when the direction can change every day. So that's what I feel like right now. Overall, like I said, consumer confidence I think is much, much stronger than they're actually making it out to be because we did have the best holiday sales quarter in the last 17 years. We also bought a lot more gift cards, so January spending should be up. I think when people actually see that, they will realize that most people have confidence in the market and most people aren't actually afraid of the market. And I think the market will react to that as well. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.